Welcome to English 126, Critical Thinking, the Shaping of Meaning in Language. This is a very exciting course, at least it is for me every time that I teach it. We get to engage with real-world issues in this class. Our inquiry will be centered around the themes of literacy and education, composition, of course, and social justice themes. In this class, you will evaluate scholarly, non-scholarly, non-fiction, and some fiction texts. And my hope is that you learn to integrate multiple perspectives from these texts into your own writing. We'll be practicing active reading. If you were not exposed to the concept of active reading in English 122, you will definitely have ample opportunity to exercise that. Here we'll have a little bit of a recap lesson on what active reading is and what I expect you. It's basically not just reading for understanding, but you're reading and interacting with texts critically. You're evaluating texts. You're not just soaking up information so that you can regurgitate it. There are no tests here, no quizzes. Simply, you're going to be writing essays and you're going to be going through a series of assignments. I had to pack 16 very intensive weeks of material into 6 weeks. So it's going to feel daunting, it's going to be a lot of work, and it's going to require a great time commitment on your part. For the next 6 weeks, I would say you would need to spend 16 to 20 weeks on average in this course. If you cannot do that, if you say you can't do 15 hours a week, then probably this course is not for you and you may want to take it in the fall. If you do choose to drop the course, let me know, or just drop it so that I can add the next person on the waiting list. If we do have a waiting list of people wanting to get into this class. You will reflect and expand on your writing and reading practices and strategies. So you will become, if you do the work, you will become a better reader, a better writer, and a better thinker. Not only that, but you will be able to understand your own processes better. The more understanding that you can have about your process as a reader, writer, or thinker, the more you can control that process, or those processes. Some of the things that we're going to be analyzing or looking at in this class, not necessarily in any particular order, are active reading, as I said, claims versus facts, rhetoric, rhetorical situations, rhetorical analysis, logical fallacies. We're going to be writing our essays in multiple drafts. Essays 1 and 2 will be a persuasive essay and a rhetorical analysis essay, for which I will give you very strict prompts to follow. But for essays 3 and 4, you will have a wide latitude of choice. You will be selecting topics as long as they fall within the real-world issue of social justice, which is a huge umbrella. As long as it falls within that big topic, and I approve it, you're basically going to be writing whatever you want on essays 3 and 4. Of course, it will have a structure. Essay 3 will be an argumentative paper, and essay 4 will be an iSearch paper, which is a kind of research paper, but it's a lot more fun because it's not so formal as a formal research paper. But it does give you research. It does give you a lot of practice and research strategies. Okay, we're going to. I could go on through the list, but what I want you to do is I want you to read the rest of this homepage. Okay, and then the next step that you're going to do is you're going to go to you're going to fill out the survey, the availability survey. While this is an asynchronous class, in other words, you can go at your own pace. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But this is a class that you can do on your own time. I will have weekly optional synchronous meetings. Now, these are optional, but I highly encourage all of you to attend as many of these meetings as possible, because in them we'll be able to discuss the readings, we'll be able to do group work, we'll be able to ask questions, we'll be able to have strategies, workshop strategies on your essays. Okay, so they will be enormously helpful to, I would imagine, all of you or most of you Okay. However, they are optional. It is possible to do well in this class and succeed without attending the optional synchronous meetings. Okay. So back to the idea of working at your own pace. I'm not so sure that's an accurate description because we will have weekly deadlines. The assignments and the modules build upon each other, so you have to complete the work, and you have to complete it on time, because if you don't, then we lag behind, and then it's going to be too much catch-up work to do. All right, so I encourage you to stay on top of it. Spend at least 15 hours a week in the course, at the very least, between reading, between doing the assignments. And then for essay writing, it might require a little more time because we're writing in multiple drafts, and we're going to be doing peer review of your essays. And at the end of the course, you will submit a portfolio. But anyway, take a look at the rest of this page and go and fill out the availability survey, which is the very first module. And then from that, you go on to module 0 and so on. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time. My email is rescudero@dvc.edu. Of course, it is in my contact information. It's in the home page. It's on the syllabus. It's everywhere. Okay, or you can also email me by clicking on the inbox, which is on the left navigation strip of your Canvas page. All right, and you can just click there and send me an email that way. My preferred method is write me directly to my DVC email account, rescudero, all one word, @dvc.edu. I look forward to working with all of you. I look forward to meeting you. And despite what I said about how much work is going to be, it will be worth your while. I promise you that. Okay.